What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show, live here from Raymond James Stadium as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers fall to 3-2. They get dominated by the Detroit Lions today, 20-6. We got open phone lines, of course, 727-255-0391. We got to start it off, though. This is a big boy team coming in from last year. 13-3, one of the top teams in the league, and I see you right now.
Stop it, Peter. Stop trying to break it down. Stop trying to do X's and O's.
Yes.
This is the problem.
That's the problem right there.
I told you people.
Right.
I told you people. You want to get all excited about wearing your creamsicles. That's good. Oh, it's a great orange color. It's great. Get all excited. You're now 1-4 in the throwback games, in the creamsicle. 1-4. You had 3 winning seasons in 20 years in creamsicle uniforms. Take your creamsicle
and
burn it.
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
Right.
And burn. I will tell you, though, they look fabulous.
Yes.
Those uniforms look absolutely fabulous out there, but there's something about them. The karma is bad. This team looked nothing like the 3-1 team that started the year. Baker Mayfield was completely off target.
Yep.
They just didn't make any plays. Rashad White's had that time and time again. It's like I had a play down the sideline. The ball's in my hands. Tough play, but you got to make the play.
Right.
They made the plays. Amon-Ra St. Brown gets a huge block on CD3 from, who's that, Reynolds? Huge block.
Yes.
And scores, takes out
Craig Reynolds, the running back, yes.
Takes it into on a 3rd and 12. On a 3rd and 10, they're up top to Jamison Williams. Todd Bowles said both of those were busted coverages. So you can't have busted coverages in key situations. You can't miss wide open guys deep for touchdowns. Mike Evans was open early on. Ball gets tipped, turns into an interception. TP was open twice.
Yeah.
Deep. And Baker just missed them.
You missed
badly.
them. You got to make those throws. If you want to be, a top upper echelon team, and maybe that's what it was because the timing was off. How do you make the
throws all year long?
Right.
And now you can't make the throws.
Well, coming into the game on third down, what is he, 76?
Maybe it's hard to have depth perception with these crappy creamsicle. Maybe that's it. You don't have the depth perception. You just can't see the guys because it's such an awful color. I don't know what it was, but that. Listen, in a game where you have, I think, 2 evenly matched teams, neither one of the teams could run the football. The Lions ran for 1.9 yards per carry. The Bucs, I think, were a little bit better at 2.6 with 46 yards in front. I thought if the Bucs kept the Lions from running the football, they would win this game. But they did a great job stopping them. But it was 3rd down, and Jared Goff, dinking and dunking. The middle of the field was open all day long.
All day long, whether it was safeties or Devin White or whatever else. I tell you what. Let's go out to the phone lines really quick. Fat Mike from Chicago.
Fat Mike.
Yes, you want to talk about the Bucs losing to the Lions 20-6 here live from Raymond James Stadium. What do you got, my friend?
A tough loss for you guys today.
Yeah.
It stinks because I really feel like this is a ragtag group for the Bucs down there. I like the Baker Mayfield aspect. I like the Mike Evans aspect. I like the grit and the blue collarness to this Tampa Bay team. But the Lions are just they're a very good team. You're going to see them wheel off another 5-6 wins here, and you're going to be like, okay, maybe that loss wasn't as bad as it was.
Yeah.
All right, like that. Honestly, I really feel that way. The Bucs are still in control of that division down there, as much as it doesn't seem like it. They are.
It's one bad loss. You know, you're 3-2 at this point.
Loss.
Yeah, you're 3-2. I don't think it's a bad loss. I think that's Fat Mike's what you said. It's a good football team in Detroit Lions.
It's a physical team.
You're gonna beat the Lions. You got to make the plays that are there to be made.
Well,
and they never did.
You sit there, we sit here, we squawk about it, right? We sit here, we squawk, we talk, and it's like the Lions, like Sweet Pete.
They're a good football team. They're a good football team.
I know.
They play with intensity. They stop the run. They're second in the league against the run. They're a good team.
Peter, I'm going to try and keep it PC. I'm not going to swear, okay? But
yeah,
go ahead. Let it rip, Mike.
Well, he swears all the time, so don't get him started, because you get him started, he won't stop.
If I'm allowed, I'm going to talk. Am I allowed?
Baker said they played like shit.
Baker
said I suck. They
here we
suck.
Go. This is what it is. This is what it boils down to, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is fucking dog shit right now.
Well, I don't necessarily think they're dog
the Lions
spit.
20 points.
You couldn't listen. You couldn't get off the field. 9 for 15 on third down. Yeah. No pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff today looked like a quarterback that honestly was more comfortable than he needed to be later on in the game.
And if you've watched a little bit of the Lions, that offensive line has been absolutely unbelievable.
Right.
Now we sit here, us three, we talk, and it's the Lions. Yeah, the Lions have been dog shit for 25, 30 years.
Not anymore.
Right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. They have an offensive line, and they have a capable quarterback.
They do.
And when you have that with one wide receiver and a capable offensive line and a capable running back, things can happen.
Yeah, they played well.
Well, they didn't necessarily run the ball. Fat Mike, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate you as always, my friend. Open phone line 727-255-0391. You didn't wind me up. Wind me up here, because we were talking about it all game. You know, the inability to get off the field, and it's easy to say, but if you want to be a top 10 defense, a top 5 defense, and you got third down and 11, third down and 12, you got to be able to find a stop. The Bucs weren't able to find a stop. How many third downs did we see today the Lions accomplish in those situations?
Yeah, we can spout the numbers, which we have a bunch of times, but now you got to go to why. Why were they bad on third down defensively? I think Jared Goff, statistically, I think is the best or one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz. I think he's got like a 116 rating against the blitz. So I think Todd Bowles didn't want to play into his hands that way, but it seemed to me during this game, the only time they got off the field is when they did blitz.
Yeah.
Levante had a great sack coming in with a little delayed blitz. I think they should have kind of just, at some point in the second half, coming out in the second half, that would have been my adjustment. We're just going to blitz. We're going to let our guys go man-to-man and see what happens.
Yeah.
And they might have got burned. Goff might have eaten them up, but it was kind of a death by 1,000 paper cuts. And I think that's the only things from a strategic standpoint, I think that they would second guess. I think they would also second guess targeting Mike Evans,
standby caller,
and TP 17 times and only getting 6 receptions.
Yeah,
that's not good enough. Whereas you targeted Godwin 8 times, he had 7 catches. 17 and 6 is not good, and that's not just on Baker; it's on the receivers.
It's on Mike Evans. Mike Evans didn't have a great game. I mean, if you're in that crowd of paying Mike Evans, this was not the game. To be a politician, because not only does he have a couple drops in this game that are critical, but also a critical pass interference, offensive pass interference, which
third
kills
and one
you.
Down there, you're throwing the fade to Mike Evans. I don't know about the call. But
I'll tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Welcome to the Sports Web in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What, me?
Yes, go ahead. Basement. Bucs Basement, what's up, brother?
What's going on, buddy? Welcome.
I was at the game today. Left with 10 minutes left. Don't regret it, because the same score as it ended with, 26. This game just showed you right there, this team is not going anywhere. I mean, Bowles is an awful head coach. A great job on not rewarding Levante's sack with a timeout. I guess you wanted 2 timeouts going into halftime?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use those? What the fuck was that?
I didn't get that.
You can't trust this coaching staff against good coaches. It shows. You either have negligence with Todd Bowles or inexperience with Canales. It's embarrassing. And then my final point, Ryan Neal might as well be the Lions MVP, because that's the sole he was the reason they scored every single touchdown, including that screen, because the broken coverage was because he fell or tripped or whatever.
An old Marine Corps term, lost in the sauce. He was definitely lost in the sauce on the Jameson Williams touchdown there. Turned all around the place, couldn't make the play, couldn't turn his head around. That was, and you kind of feel like maybe that's the reason, the inability of this Bucs defense to get off the field, because a lot of it was the middle of the field, whether it was Devin White, whether it was Levante David, or whether it was the safeties not knowing what they're and just Goff picking apart, picking apart spot. Right,
no,
picking
they were
apart
picking on Neal.
The zone.
They were picking on Neal.
Yeah.
The entire second half, they were picking on Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They scored all their points on Neal.
Yeah. No, it's a great. I don't want.
Yeah.
So I think they had a bad day. You have had a bad day.
Yeah, put it on. I mean, I got mine in the bag.
I'm not putting it
there.
on.
Right.
I'm not putting it on.
You're not putting it on anymore?
I'm throwing it away.
Okay, it's done. It's done. All
TJ,
right.
TJ, what do you say?
TJ Reeves in the background there.
he's sticking to the creamsicles.
Yeah.
He's sticking.
Yeah, exactly. Open phone line 727-255-0391. Yeah, 1-5 now, right? 1-5. You told me.
1-4. I think it's 1-4.
Okay, well maybe I cursed it. What? 1-4. Okay, so 1-4 in the background. They're getting the official. Yes,
if we do it again, it'll be 1-4.
Yes, absolutely. I know you want to go out to these comments here, so really quick, let's go out to them and read them. KR says, "Evening, guys." KR again. WTF? What was that I watched? I think a lot of people were saying that, and it was tough to watch, especially on third down when your defense can't get off the field.
Frustrating.
We can't beat good teams who will probably win the division, get whooped in the first game of the playoffs, but this team isn't really that great. Roger Shoe says, "Yo, what's up, you're all? What's up with you?" Ralph Williams, "Hello, guys." Bucs basement at the game, left with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he just talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go out to Mike. Came into the game, was too laxed off the bye, uninspired BS. One more thing, deactivate Ryan Neal. Goodness gracious, guys, had a bad game, but it's not. He was one of the top safeties last year in Pro Football Focus.
Learning the system.
Correct.
Maybe just not as aggressive as he needed to be tonight. The bye week. I don't think there's any question, because Bull said this probably 10 times. Yeah. They were sluggish. I don't know what the CBA it demands. I thought they get 3 or 4 days off. Yeah. I thought they just got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's what I thought.
4 days. He's saying 4 days.
Yeah. But they took the whole week off.
Right.
According to the post game speech after the win, it was like take the week off. So I'm like, that seemed a little much for a team that's still learning a lot, still learning a new offense. But you're only supposed to get 4 days off. They got 7. I don't know.
And you felt good about it, JP, because this was like basically the first time this Bucs team was actually healthy. Cansey was back. You saw the impact. First sack of his NFL career. Jamal Dean.
I thought he played well. I'm going to go check the tape, but I thought he played pretty well.
He made some plays in this game, and again, he showed his impact. And the future is bright for him. You saw Logan Hall a couple times flash, but overall, this defense didn't do enough, especially on third down, and to get enough pressure on Goff, because we know if you can get pressure on Goff, maybe you can cause some turnovers, and that was another big factor in this game. This Bucs team came in causing turnovers. None of that today. None of that today.
Well, there was one fumble, but they got right on that.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. No real. I don't even think they remember they get their hands on any balls for.
Scoot in a little bit here, because I don't want you to miss out of that camera. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So
we gonna hit TJ on.
If he wants to come on, TJ.
Bucs sideline guy who's been here forever. Here, jump right in the middle. Here. I'm killing your creamsicle, bro. I'm killing them.
They're 1-4 in the creamsicles. Well, it hasn't been put into play for 11 years. Yeah. All right, a treat for the audience. This is I'm going to show my bald head too. Nice. This is a 1989 hat. I'm going to hold it closer to the camera in a second, because what you want to see, fans, is who signed the bill of the cap. Leroy Selman.
Wow.
Signed the cap. This is literally an 89 or 90 script hat. I tried to
get all the you wore the Dave Moore jersey and everything.
The Dave Moore jersey on.
Yeah.
None of the mojo worked today.
It worked.
Well,
it's just bad mojo.
It's 1983 to 1996 mojo.
Yeah,
where you had a lot of losing. Yeah. Look, you guys have already articulated it. You had some plays that you would want back. I mean, the long one to Trey Palmer, probably a different game if you connect on that. Just put some air under it. And Baker Mayfield admitted not good. 13-6 game, 3rd and 10. You throw the long one. The Lions do right in front of me. I had a great vantage point. Ryan Neal has either got to play the ball or play the man, and he didn't play either one of them.
He got his hand on the ball, right in the basket.
You got to make sure he does not catch that ball. Either you and maybe you can make the high point play and pick that off. He didn't play the ball. Yeah. He didn't play the man. what do we know? We're just doing this after the game on FanStream JP.
Right.
We didn't play in the NFL. But those are plays where you look back on this game and it's still a one-score game late in the game. But the Lions deserve a lot of credit. Not unlike when I was here with you 3 weeks ago after the Eagles game. They've already beaten Kansas City at Kansas City. I'm not making excuses.
They're the NFL darling right now.
They've already beaten Green Bay at Green Bay.
Right.
So this is not an accidental thing. And they didn't even have David Montgomery for much of this game. And they still found a way to run the ball and do their thing.
They only had 40 yards running, 1.9 yards per carry. I thought if the Bucs stopped their run game, they would win this game. But instead it was Goff just dinking and dunking and going downtown a couple of times, but taking advantage of every opportunity they got.
Yeah, he looked brilliant at field level. And again, give them credit. You want to know how you stack up right now with the top teams in the NFC. You saw it against Philadelphia. You saw it against Detroit. But you still have 12 games to get some things together. And one more thing, I'm not making excuses here on this. The expectation on this season almost everywhere was lost season. You're not going to be any good. You're going to win 3 or 4 games. All right, you're 3-2. If you find a way to regroup and beat Atlanta, I don't care if it's 9-6.
Should be able to beat Atlanta with Desmond Ridder the way he's playing.
4-2.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. We just saw this yet again. How much can we glean from this league week to week? What was that from San Francisco and Cleveland this afternoon? What was that late in the day, because I haven't seen it, where the Eagles blow a second-half lead and lose to the Jets?
Wow, we picked that game, by the way. Harry the Greek had it.
In the final minute, they lost to the Jets, where the Jets were milking the clock to kick the winning field goal, and the Eagles actually let them score on a handoff where Breece Hall went in, a la JP Peterson, untouched by anybody because they were trying to get the ball back. So the Eagles have lost today to a questionable Jets team. The 49ers lost in Cleveland without Deshaun Watson. It is a week-to-week league right now in the National Football League.
I think this is – I think these are two evenly –
That's it.
You got when football comes down to catching, blocking, tackling, throwing, right? You still got to make the plays.
Absolutely.
If you drop it in the breadbasket a couple times, Baker does, like he's done all year long.
Right. You hit Palmer for that touchdown there, that long touchdown. It's a different game. You feel good about it. But even then, it's still 10-3 at halftime. Everything that you talked about, turnover, your defense did their job. It's just you got wore down because time of possession, 35 minutes by the Lions. That was a big-time key, too.
One more thing. Levante David was talking after the game on Buccaneers Radio about this. This is a copycat league, and it's obviously back out there that if you run and sit down in the middle of this zone, you're open. And they were open, the Lion receivers, tight ends, they were open over and over and over again. You got to get that tightened up because everybody's going to watch this tape and say, until the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play some man-to-man or do a better job in the middle of the field on third down, guess where they're running and guess what they're going to do? They're going to sit down right in the middle of the zone.
Yep.
So you saw it probably way too much. But I'm with you guys. It's a loss. You got a chance to regroup here and beat the Atlanta Falcons and be 4-2. You got a real tough turn around to play Buffalo after that. But if you go get the Atlanta game and get to 4-2, you're fine early on.
And the great thing about it is, TJ, we're on with TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network talking with us here on the Sports Web in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show.
My dudes.
The great thing that you love about this is that the Falcons lost, the Panthers lost. After having a 14-0 lead over the Dolphins. And the Saints lost to the Texans, of all teams, which are very improved.
And in that game, the Saints had every opportunity to win. Derek Carr is just not there
He's not
anymore.
good.
He's not good.
No, and Michael Thomas is not good either.
No, and Kamara is completely ineffective.
Yep. So
there's a lot ahead for this Bucs team. They're winning the Super Bowl, but they have a chance to win this division. Maybe we'll get a home playoff game, and hey, maybe we can bust out the creamsicles for the home playoff game. What do you think?
I don't know. When's the last time that we wore the orange for a playoff game? That's like 80.
Doug Williams was throwing the ball at the sombrero over there.
Right. There you go. Exactly.
But listen, your man Leroy, who signed your cap, was alive back then, playing some really good football.
Awesome.
But look, the reality of it is, again, the expectation was can you win 5 or 6 or 7 games? I keep saying this to you guys. 8 might be enough to win the division. 9 likely is enough to win the division. Find a way to get to 6 or 7.
You still have 2 games left with the Panthers.
Get to 6 or 7 by the time you roll into December, where you're playing the Panthers twice, where you're still playing some questionable teams like Houston later in the year, or Tennessee and Indianapolis later in the year. You're going to have a chance to win the 7th game, the 8th game, and the 9th game. That's all you can ask for.
So, thanks, TJ.
All right, boys.
Take a break.
I'll do a TJ Tuesday with you.
Yes, we would appreciate that.
I like a TJ Wednesday because that's what I'm on again. But TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network here live. Open phone line 727-255-0391. Again, 727-255-0391 here live from Raymond James Stadium as the Bucs fall to the Detroit Lions 20-6, 3-2. The Atlanta Falcons next. The other thing that I thought was not so good, and we've been talking about it ad nauseum on your show, which, by the way, I'm on Wednesday and Fridays. He's on every day from 10 to 12 on various platforms here, is the fact this running game still has not gotten, and I don't know if it's White, I don't know if it's the offensive line. Maybe he's too patient. Maybe, again, we talked about it and talking to guys in the press.
Today there was nowhere to run.
Right.
There was nowhere to run.
Right.
I thought there was a couple times they missed some cuts, but for the most part, and don't forget, the Lions are the second best run defense in football. So it was going to be tough to run on them. I'm going to look at the all 22. We'll do the shows this week.
Sure.
And try to get an idea. But I would say first and foremost, these running backs, I thought they were better. I thought Rashad White was better. I thought Keyshawn Vaughn was better. Maybe they missed Chase Edmonds, who seemed to give them a little bit of spark. Nobody seems to be explosive at all. It's just you
got to make guys miss.
Yeah, they don't. It's hard to make guys miss when there's 6 of them.
Agree.
In front of you.
Agree.
If they weren't making anybody miss out in the open field when they have one-on-ones, I would be concerned. But I've seen them be able to do that. They just never have that opportunity. They're hemmed in. There's no real running lanes that I can see. It'll get better. I still think it'll get better because it's a rhythm thing. It's kind of a vision thing. Remember, we're still with a first year play caller.
Yeah.
You got to set up runs like you set up passes. Today was just a bad day. And here's the thing: when you hit some of those balls over the top,
right
now they got to respect that. They got to back up a little bit, and you get more opportunities to run the football. So that everything works together, and nothing worked together today.
It didn't, and we always talk about it, right? His play calling has to be a marriage between the running game and the passing game. And it wasn't there today. And you even talked about it. I thought it was a big play of the game. Even though Evans commits the penalty, why are you throwing the ball to the end zone on 3rd and 1? Why not run the ball if you want to, or put it in Baker's hands? Because we've seen him. He's
been really good on 3rd down.
He has.
On the move.
He really has. So why not do that? Again, like TJ said, we're just guys talking on the post-game show.
Third and 1 fade to Mike in a one-on-one situation. You say much against a smaller corner is never a bad play. I would agree with that. It's never a bad play. But the thing of it is, as big as Mike is, historically, the success just hasn't been there on that play. We all say, just throw it up to Mike Evans. Well, it hasn't worked a lot.
No.
If you went and charted all the fades to Mike, everybody thinks it's a 90% play. It's about a 10% play.
Yeah.
It's about a 10% play.
Sure.
And that's not good enough in a 3rd and 1 situation, in my opinion. So, I think you got to have a better call there on 3rd and 1. I really do.
Yeah, I do. All right, let's go back out to the comments here. Ryan Turner says we did great against the run, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, really did.
Somebody laughing. I think that's a Lions fan. That's all okay.
No, we did. They had 40 yards rushing, 1.9 per carry. That's great.
Bucs are who we thought they were, are the Bears who you thought they were because they lost. Once again there, Roger Shoe, so you get that. Troll. Let's go out to Bradley here. 2 great analysts. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you. White and Vaughn are trash. Do the Bucs
starting to get there with
get
you
any
guys.
more running backs here? Anthony Richardson, fire Bowles. So sick of that stat. Goodness gracious. JTS is hot garbage. Wow.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. There is no fear off the edge for the Buccaneers right now.
No.
JTS, and I hate to say it, Shaq Barrett, minus the one play this year, he just has not been a force rushing off the edge. So
he's not the same player, whether they're double or triple teaming. And I like to see if they're double or triple teaming them. You didn't hear a lot from Vita Vea today. And once you get that double and triple team from him, that frees it up. And that's where you come in with the Shaq or JTS. JTS isn't making the plays. And again, I continue to say this, JP. I think Yaya Diaby is going to be a guy that's going to steal a lot of snaps. We saw him.
I think you have to start giving them more snaps,
right?
And somebody else now, because these guys just aren't getting it done.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. You got to get some pressure on a team with a 4-man rush at some point. And I don't think we ever got any pressure with 4 guys. And the only time we got pressure is when we brought pressure. But again, Goff's the best in the league against the blitz, so you got to be careful with that. He's going to burn you. But at some point, if you can't get home, you got to take your shots. And I think Todd probably thought, okay, it's a close enough game. We could just make one. I don't want to give him anything cheap over the top, right? So if it's a close enough game, maybe we can get one more play and we can get back in this thing, and I don't have to take chances defensively. I think he'll look back when he looks at the tape and say, you know what, second half I should have just let it rip.
Yeah.
Every time they ran an A-gap blitz, it seemed they got some type of success. I'll have to go look at the tape, but I think that was correct.
And going back to the offense there, St. Brown, he gets a little over the middle, and you're thinking one Bucs defender is going to come up and make the tackle. And then Craig Reynolds, he must have been Burt Reynolds because he absolutely just crushed Carlton Davis.
Who took out 3 more guys.
Yes. I mean, and it was there. And it's like that right there is the difference between maybe a good team and a great team. I'm not saying the Bucs are a bad team. They may be a good team, but
they made the plays.
Right.
They made the plays.
They made the plays.
Every time we have a win or a loss, especially a loss,
sure,
everybody wants to say, fire the coach. You got out. I did think they got out coached from a defensive standpoint on 3rd down.
Right.
Because they seemed to get everything that they wanted in the matchups that they wanted. But, they just didn't make plays. And so much about this league is making the plays when the opportunities present themselves. And the Bucs just didn't do that. Sometimes it's the player's fault. Sometimes you just got to say, Baker, you weren't good enough. Baker said himself, he said, I sucked.
Yeah,
we sucked.
He sucked.
Good. Baker was not good.
No,
he was not good.
Yeah.
Rashad White was not good. The offensive line I didn't think got much push. They weren't good. The receivers as a whole were not good. It was just, defensive backs, when they had a chance to make plays, did not make plays.
Yep.
And you look at Detroit, they did. When they had their opportunities, they caught the ball.
Yep.
They knocked the ball away. They made the tackle in the open field. That's football.
Yeah, that's football. And you feel good about the situation because, look, they're without Gibbs, without Montgomery most of the game.
Yep.
And they're still able to execute. And it's one of those things, like John McKay said, I'm in favor of it, right? I'm in favor of it at this point.
As we sign off, has anybody got a match? Can we just burn this stuff right now? Can we just take it to the middle of the freaking field where the helmet is, pile it all up?
It was so great because
this shit.
They give out the hat, they give out the beads. I'm making a joke. They said it's Mardi Gras, and I said, why is it Mardi Gras? Oh, what? Because you beat the Saints here the last 3 times. That's why it's Mardi Gras, and you're feeling good about it. And you still feel good because you're in control of the NFC South. But this was the measuring stick today if you are one of the top teams. And clearly you're not there yet. And I continue to say this. They can get there, but they got to play better. And like you said, when you got Trey Palmer wide open in that second quarter, you got to hit it before halftime. When you got an opportunity to get back in the game in the fourth quarter to Trey Palmer, you got to hit that. And Baker's usually hitting that. He didn't hit that today, and that's the difference.
That's
yeah.
All right, well, I'll be on tomorrow morning from 10 to 12 with Nick Geddes on the JP Peterson Show. You'll be on Wednesday with us.
Yes.
And we will also we'll be on Friday night.
Patio, 5 to 7.
Patio,
yes.
5 to 7 o'clock.
Absolutely.
For our Friday night football fiesta there. So join us for all the content that we'll have. I'm going to go home right now and, have some Orange Crush.
Well, they were giving out, creamsicle pops today.
Yeah, put the all 22
I think
on.
we can put that stuff to rest.
We'll have more for you tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll definitely be on tomorrow night here on the Sports Web live at 9 o'clock for all your reaction. If you didn't get in tonight, we'll definitely get you in tomorrow night here. For the great JP Peterson, I'm your host, Peter Blake. Bucs fall to 3-2 as they lose to the Lions here live from Raymond James Stadium. How do we end this off? I always do it on the Sports Web. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Guys, Bucs lose. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. And make sure to tune into this guy's show tomorrow from 10 to 12, JP Peterson. Have a good night.
It's a bitch and moan Monday.
Yes.
Fireballs. Oh, that's right, yeah. Meet me here tomorrow morning.